Hello again, folks. Another quick Magic the Gathering video for you. So, Wizards of the Coast, who make Magic the Gathering, they have a special website called Secret Lair, where they sell like limited run special cards, collector cards. So, I went on there and found some stuff I thought was pretty cool. So I snapped it up. Let me show you real quick the boxes that they come in because they're kind of cool. Um, so here's it's called a drop series, a secret lair drop series. You just tear this off, and I like the quote in there: "Fate rarely calls upon us at a moment of our choosing." And this pops open. Let's pull this out of here. I don't have a free hand this time because I'm holding the thing in my little light ring here in my hand. But this is the box. It's got this kind of cool sleeve on it. This is obviously for the Transformers bundle. I got a couple of Transformers. There's a number of them, but they put them. You can get them all in a bundle, all the different releases that they did. So that's what I did. One shall stand, one shall fall, and then that slides off, and you get this nice little black box. And inside of there is where you'll find the cards. I just kept the packaging because I wanted to show it off. I thought it was kind of nice, kind of fancy. But let's take a look at those. So again, I was mistaken about what I was getting. I don't know why I didn't read more carefully on the website. But so these are some cool cards. But I thought what they were going to be was basically a collection of all the Transformers cards that you could receive in the standard Brothers War bundles, as extra, as rare inserts. But that doesn't appear to be what they are at all, because they don't look at all like the cards that I found in the Brothers War decks, the booster packs. So there's, I think, it's 17 cards that come in this bundle. So you've got Optimus Prime, and this is a different Optimus Prime, I think, than you might find, like I was saying, in the Brothers War boosters, because he's a very simple card. He's just a big monster. It's 11 colorless mana. He's an 11/11. He has trample and indestructible. And even if he does get somehow put into a graveyard, he gets revealed and shuffled back into your library. This is also a two-sided card, as a kind of reference to the Transformer aspect here. He's got the truck on one side and the robot on the other, but the card is exactly the same on either side. It just has different art. It's kind of cool. It's hard to play this card, obviously, because it's pretty rare that you're going to have enough mana to play him. But once he comes out, he's going to be hard to get rid of. There are cards that could exile him or stop him from attacking or blocking or whatever. But he's pretty nasty. If you can get him out and get him attacking, you got a pretty good chance of winning, I would say. Another card that this comes in is this artifact. It's called the Allspark, which you'll remember from the Transformers movie if you've seen that. It's kind of cool because you pay 3 mana and tap it, and it gives you double the amount of each type of unspent mana you already have. So that's pretty sweet. You can get a whole bunch of mana out of this thing if you play your cards right, as the saying is. It's got a little quote from Optimus Prime there. And there's another two-sided card, but this one is exactly the same on either side. Well, except for the fact that this side has a quote from Megatron, "Peace through tyranny," and this side has a quote from Optimus Prime. So that's kind of cool, I guess, if you want to play the good side or the bad side, depending on what kind of deck you have or how you're feeling at the moment. This is another one of the cards, a sorcery card. It's pretty cool. You pay any amount of mana plus 1 red mana, and you can destroy that X number of artifacts. So that's pretty brutal. And it's got these the little cassette tape guys from the Generation 1 Transformers. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, what else do we have? So here's True Conviction, an enchantment. Creatures you control have double strike and lifelink. That's pretty sweet. Um, and it's kind of cool. Again, this is a reference to the Transformers movie. This is spoilers, but this is when Hot Rod gets the Allspark and becomes Rodimus Prime. So they have a quote from him down there. Now light our darkest hour. This one is not double sided. And you've got dramatic reversal. Untap all non-land permanents you control. That's pretty cool. So it's like Optimus Prime is like, we gotta roll out. Here's fabricate. Search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Pretty simple one. Pretty cool though, if you've got an artifact-based deck. And again, here's Megatron. And again, this is a little disappointing because this is exactly the same card, basically, as Optimus Prime. It just has different art, and he has a little bit of an extra ability. So he costs even one more mana, so he's 12 mana. He also has Infect, which I actually would have to look up to figure out even what that is. I know a trample and indestructible are, but Infect I'm not too familiar with. But you can see again, it's a two-sided card. He's got the tank on one side because Megatron can't be a gun anymore, and the robot on the other side. But it's really the same card either way. Then we've got Greater Good, which again is a reference to a moment in the Transformers movie here. Big spoilers. This is an enchantment, lets you sacrifice a creature, draw cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power, then discard 3 cards. It's not really a very good card, I don't think, unless you sacrifice a very high power creature, which is probably going to be useful for something else. But maybe if you've got to, like, if you're blocking with him and he's going to die anyway, this would make sense. Or if you desperately need different cards than the ones you have. But you still have to discard those 3 cards. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a very good card to me, but then we've got Collective Brutality. This one's fun because it's the Destructicon guy, all the little construction vehicle transformers that you could put together into this one giant dude. Here he is. It's a sorcery. Escalate. Discard a card. Choose one or more. So this is pretty wild. This one lets you do all kinds of stuff, which is kind of amazing for a 2-mana card. You can make the target opponent reveal their hand, and then you choose an instant or sorcery card from it, and they have to discard it. You can pick a target creature, and they get -2/-2 until end of turn. A target opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. And I'm confused by this one or more. Why would you ever not do all of those? I guess it just means like you don't have to do them if it's not possible to do one. I don't know. And I'm not sure what escalate means in this context, but I guess it just means you have to discard a card to play the card. But there we go. So those are all the like creatures and other enchantment and sorcery cards and artifact cards that come with the pack. But it also comes with one each of these lands that have special Transformer related art. So here is the green land forest card, and you can see like there's little details. You can see that this is a kind of Cybertron type forest. It's all like robotic and technological. And if you zoom in over here in the corner, you can see some Transformers messing around. So that's pretty cool. And then they're all like that, basically. So here's the Red Mountain card. But this mountain is like a junkyard of like dead Transformers. So there's like, some familiar looking robots here in this pile of junk. And then we've got the swamp. And this is again, there's like a sort of mechanized background here to the swamp, to this watery area. And again, if you zoom in here, you can see a couple of Transformers fighting each other. They look familiar. Some old school dudes. Whoops. Just knocked a card over, but that's all right. And here's the island card, the blue mana card, blue mana land. And we've got a jet flying around and another dude shooting at him in the background, very tiny. Um, and then the plains card, which is pretty cool. You can see it's not a plane of land; it's a plane of metal of Cybertron probably. And you've got Optimus and some friends driving off in the background, and some like satellites floating in the sky here. So that's pretty cool. I enjoyed those. And that's that. That's for the Transformer stuff. But while I was at it, I also bought a 5-card set of The Art of Frank Frazetta, which, if you are aware at all of fantasy art or of like fantasy paperbacks or whatever, I'm sure you have seen The Art of Frank Frazetta. He's very famous. His work is very very popular and very what's the word I'm looking for? It inspired a lot of other artists. So here's Field Marshal. Other soldier creatures get +1/+1 and have first strike. So this is obviously a good card to have in a soldier deck. And it's got this dude with this like chariot on skis being pulled by polar bears, which is pretty badass. And then we've got Temporal Manipulation, which is a great card. It costs you 5 mana, but you get an extra turn, which is a huge deal in Magic. That really can make a huge difference to your game. This looks like a guy with a trumpet on a horse back here calling. So that's pretty fun, pretty cool art, and there's this great like halo of light around him. This is a very famous piece of art by Frazetta. I believe this painting is called Death Dealer, but the card is called Midnight Reaper. It's a zombie knight creature. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, Midnight Reaper deals 1 damage to you, and you draw a card. So he actually hurts you if one of your other guys dies, but he does let you draw a card too. So that's that interesting. The black mana cards tend to have that kind of negative effect. You have to give up something, sacrifice something to get something decent. But there you go. That guy's really cool. And then we have this, and I really like the art on this one too. And you'll see these are all the borderless cards, so you can get more art around the edges. This is an instant, costs you only 1 mana, and you get to add 3 black mana. But it's got this really cool looking like sorcerer, necromancer type dude with like flames coming out of his hands. Really cool piece of art there. And the last one, now this is interesting. I was looking on the website to refresh my memory about which cards these were so I could pluck them out of my collection. And this is not the card that they include on the website when they're describing the contents of this pack. They have a different red card that they mention, but this is the one I got, and I'm happy with it. It's a good card. Any card that just deals some amount of damage to a target is pretty decent. It's a 2 mana card that deals 3 damage to any target. So that's pretty cool, useful card. And I love the art, this very dramatic pose this sword guy is doing. This kind of flash of light off his blade. So cool card. So I enjoyed the stuff. I think I picked up some pretty cool stuff here. It's fun cards with really fun art on them. Some of them aren't like great as cards necessarily, but they're still cool to have and cool to show off. So anyway, I think that's all I really wanted to show in this particular video. I did open another pack of another bundle of the Brothers War with more Transformers cards in them, and I got another cool 20-sider with this like 2-sided the Decepticon and Autobot symbols like split down the middle for the 20. This is a nice marble 20-sided die, so that's pretty cool. And I don't remember if I showed this card before. This is a Cybertron. It's a special land card that you would use in a commander deck. It lets you add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. So that's a pretty cool card. Um, see if there's anything else I wanted to show off. I don't think so. Um, and I have figured out how to. I finally got everything organized, and I'm using these. They give you these cardboard things in with those boxes, and I'm using them as dividers, which I think is what they're meant to be. So that's pretty handy. You can. I've got all my creatures in here organized by color and mana. Uh, what do you call it? Mana cost. And I've got the creatures up front, and then the non creatures in the back. So this is red, green, blue, and then the same with the lands over here. Yeah. So it was fun to put that together, and I built a couple of decks, and I'm keeping those separate in these old boxes I've got. And I played some games with the Transformers cards. They're pretty cool. So yeah, I think that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'm sure I'll be back on again soon. Bye.